Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Castro. I welcome you to Music and Art for All, and today we're going to speak about how to play Fortissimo. So to play Fortissimo is something very hard and that everybody has to know how to do, or everybody of course who is a musician has to know how to approach those parts in which the composer or the music in some ways asks us to play with a big deal of sound, right? To play Fortissimo. The best way, in my personal experience and opinion, would be using the weight of your body, right? In this point, it's very important to make the difference. Of course, we have all different weights, and of course, there are pianists that have, that are massive, that are strong, big, while there are pianists that are able to make a great big sound, being very even skinny, okay, and small, right? The use of the weight still, I believe, is something that could help anybody to play Fortissimo. The way I personally approach it is in this way. I basically use my whole body weight to enter into the keys, right? Like if you were going to stand up and you put your whole weight into your arm, okay, to get up, not really using your legs. In fact, you can do this, for example, right, using only your arms to get out of the chair, like when you do push-ups, when you exercise. And for the piano, works similarly. If I want to get a lot of sound, it's easy for me to just go into the keys using the weight of my body. Okay? All I'm doing is releasing the weight through my arms. For me, it's very important to sit high up in the bench. This one is a little bit lower, but I prefer when it is a little bit higher in order to be able to liberate the weight into the keys, like I explained before, right? Okay. This is also a suggestion that Neuhaus was giving to Sviatoslav Richter in order to get a good sound, in order to have actually more control. When you're sitting from higher, you have a kind of better vision of the whole keyboard, and like I'm telling you, at the same time, you have this opportunity of releasing the sound in a comfortable way, right? It's very important to, of course, take in consideration what kind of fortissimo and in what kind of passage are you going to require to play fortissimo. Of course, there is passages in which, like the example I have been giving you, you have simply chords. Okay, a lot, very used by Beethoven, for example. For instance, the Prelude Number 20 by Chopin. You have this kind of writing for the piano, in which you have fortissimo in slow, heavy chords, and in a certain way, that's the easiest, right? What do you do when you have something very fast and that goes on in fortissimo, like for example in Liszt, in the Etude Mazeppa, he writes as forte as possible, right? Il più forte possibile, okay? And it's a whole, 1.5 pages of octaves in a very fast tempo that you are supposed to maintain also fortissimo and even as forte as possible, right? So at that moment, I would personally apply what I said already, releasing the weight of your body into the keys, but of course, it's very important the way you will practice that. You may take simply the passage and play it in a very, very, very slow tempo, making sure you can release the weight into every key or every note that you will have. For example, okay, the passage is of course a lot faster. That's it. So in this case, I just start the passage very slowly, doing it very clean, and making sure at every note I have enough time to relax and to put again the weight for the next note. So like this, I relax, I relax. The weight goes in, and after that I relax. So this is the way I recommend to practice. This is the way I do it myself, but of course there are other ways. For instance, another way of playing with Fortissimo that many great pianists use, of course, in music, there is almost never something that works in the same way for everybody, right? So another way is to simply stay maybe closer to the keys, and with your arm and with the action, sorry, of your fingers, you can grab the notes and just release a lot of energy from your fingers and from your arm. Okay, so it will go something like this. In this case, I'm not using, I don't feel that I'm using my whole body. I'm basically concentrating on my arms, especially from here to here, and of doing this kind of, pinching touch almost, right? Okay, in this way it's also important for you to use the same kind of practicing, always slowly, always getting back to being relaxed. Why do I insist in the fact of being relaxed? Because if you have to play, like in this case, Mazeppa by Liszt, which is a 7-minute piece where you have to play Fortissimo almost all the time, if you don't relax, of course you will, after 1, 2, 3 pages, you will definitely get tired and possibly be unable to arrive to the end of the piece. Another way that is very useful sometimes is the way of making your arms fall into the keys. You can see this kind of technique, for example, in the videos or the footage that there is about Joseph Hoffman, for example. You see this kind of playing, which for me is very strange, but definitely worked for him. And it's this kind of playing in which you, like I told you, release simply the weight of your arms, and you see something like this. It's easy somehow, and you are just somehow leaving the whole work to the weight of your arm. Again, the secret is to practice slowly, making sure that you relax after every note. Of course, I say you relax after every note. Of course, when you are playing the whole piece from the beginning to the end, it's not that you will be really relaxing after every note. But if you practice slowly, relaxing after every note, like I said, you will get a kind of consciousness of the relaxation of your body. Okay. I'm using this example with these octaves. Of course, that's a kind of technique. Now, when you have something, I don't know, very fast with many notes, the approach actually will be more from your hand, right? You will try in certain way to have the weight of your arm all the time there, okay, and the relaxation of the fingers all the time there, right? When you have something like okay, the idea is that you maintain a kind of firm arm, but the fingers relax, okay? The way of practicing is the same that I explained to you before in the octaves. You just simply relax basically at every note. You achieve that by practicing very slowly, and you go like this. So what I'm doing is simply leaving the whole weight of my arm, if I can, of my body. When I will be playing the whole piece with both hands, I will have my whole body into the keys, but always making sure that my hands and my fingers are relaxed at the same time. It's something you have to look for. Like I was saying before, everybody has a kind of different body, a kind of different physicality, and it's important for you to know yourself. Practice slowly in front of the piano. Try to know your body. Try to see how you're able to make the biggest sound, always being relaxed. Okay? But this is, like I was telling you, my first advice is simply to enter with the weight of your body into the keys, like if you were holding yourself, okay, with the keys, at the same time that you manage to relax your fingers by practicing very slowly. Etc. So the main advice at this point is for you to really get to know your body by practicing slowly and fortissimo, even exaggerating all the time, playing the piece fortissimo, maybe the whole passage, beginning from the beginning to the end of the whole passage, playing slowly and trying different ways of getting this fortissimo, right? For the octaves and chords, I explained to you these three ways. One would be using simply the weight of your body that goes into the keys. The other one would be with the kind of touch, that kind of pinching, okay, approach, also with the energy of your body, of your arm, I'm sorry. Okay, and the third way I explained was using the weight of your arm, like Joseph Hoffman used to do, which comes something like this. Okay, for faster things, slowly, always thinking about adding weight into the keys, into the piano actually, and maintaining relaxed fingers. Okay, this will be basically the recapitulation of what we saw in this video. If you have any other ideas, if something is not clear for you, or you have a specific piece, of course you have to understand that I make these videos and music is so complex and so full, and there are just so many pieces to play, so many different composers, etc., that of course there is not an explanation that will work for absolutely everything. It would be impossible. So what I'm asking you to do is, if you have any questions, just write to me and I will try to get back to you with the explanation. The important thing is for us to be in contact and for you to not be shy and simply ask me whatever you may have doubts with. Okay, so I thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the video, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much.